Scenes are considered a staple of many Hollywood movies and TV series, whether they're added for comedic purposes or just to elevate the aesthetic appeal of a movie. But one thing is for sure, it's incredibly taxing, both emotionally and physically, for the actors. So much so that some actors end up regretting doing them in the first place. Stay tuned as we discuss celebrities that deeply regret doing scenes. First up, Kate Winslet. Even though Titanic has been a box office success for almost 20 years, there's still one scene that makes Kate Winslet uncomfortable. You might think it was a famous scene at the end of the movie when she clearly has room for Jack on the huge floating door. But surprisingly, that's not it. Kate Winslet has said that the "draw me like one of your French girls" scene is something that still haunts her from the film that essentially began her career. The film was released in '97, yet diehard fans are still bringing in large photos of the naked sketch from that scene for the mother of three to sign. She reflected on this in a Yahoo interview, saying that she doesn't sign them at all. It just makes her very uncomfortable, and she wonders how people even think it's okay to act this way. Followed by Natalie Portman. Portman starred in Hotel Chevalier, a short film directed by Wes Anderson. The movie features a scene where the supremely talented actor undresses, and it has received the kind of attention that she would rather the film not have received. Natalie told The Guardian that it's still a topic of conversation more than the film, and that she may have contributed to this in part by talking about so much, and that's what makes her question whether it was the right decision. She went on to remark that she was disappointed that people spoke more about the film's scene than the rest of it. And it's not that she had any regrets about the actual incident, as she clarified, but what was really depressing is that the movie wasn't remembered or talked about for how wonderful it was or how Wes had spent all his time and energy directing the shots and writing the script, but was instead remembered for just one scene. Moving on to Taylor Lautner. Taylor Lautner was worried that his six-pack would steal the show from his acting skills in New Moon, despite his best efforts to bulk up for the role. Lautner told Ace Showbiz after the premiere that he worked hard to get into shape for the role. The movie and the audience were a driving force, but he doesn't want to be typecast as merely a body. He confessed that if he had to choose, he'd never take it off again for a movie, but then again, that doesn't seem very realistic. In Eclipse, the third book in the Twilight series, Taylor was seen without a shirt. This made his on-screen enemy, Edward Cullen, wonder if Taylor even owned a shirt. The fourth film, Breaking Dawn Part 1, was where Taylor was able to have his voice heard. He agreed to only have one shirtless scene in the film, and for one simple reason. He said it was so he wouldn't freeze to death while filming the movie. We guess that's fair. Next up, Muriel Louise Parker. For those who have seen, you know that Parker wasn't shy about becoming in front of the camera. In particular, she recalls a disturbing scene from season 4 of the show, which took place while she was soaking in the tub. In her opinion, she didn't have to be for the scene, but the show's producers pressured her into it. She told More Magazine that she didn't think being for the scene was necessary and fought with the director over it, which made her furious. She eventually had to go through with it though. Parker just knew the headline would read, "Muriel Louise Parker flaunts off her enormous on the internet." Mary admitted that she should have known better, that a lot of people pressure her into it. Followed by Gordon Ramsay. The renowned chef Gordon Ramsay stripped down to his underwear and harshly criticized the hotel service on an episode of his Fox series Hotel. As this was a reality show about the cooking and service industry, any excuses about raising the artistic standard of the script are, of course, out of the question. When the scene was released, it caused a major uproar on the internet, and the actor came quickly to regret his NSFW choice. Ramsay later said that he does regret one thing, and that's getting his out in the shower. He said that due to the sensitive nature of the footage, he was compelled to take a morning shower. He regretted the scene altogether and apologized if it had offended anyone. Moving on to Pamela Anderson. After spending a lot of her career posing in skimpy outfits for magazines like Playboy and doing several scenes in a lot of different movies, she decided to end her career. Long after her time had faded, Anderson admitted that she always felt guilty about the time she stripped for the cameras, realizing too late that her children would be bullied because of her. As the famous starlet candidly admitted, when you pose, you rarely ever think that one day you'll have children and they'll see it. And it's true. Pamela revealed later on that her sons were constantly bullied at their school because of her. She was heartbroken, but she knows that they will go through it as a family. Next up, Helen Mirren. The British actress Dame Helen Mirren claims that the racy reputation she now bears is all due to the fact that she stripped for a few movies, and to be honest, she regrets it. When it came to going she's always struggled and found it quite offensive. It wasn't something that ever felt natural, and in general, it was a very embarrassing situation for her. She even explained how she never even considered that a requirement before. Still, she knew that was something she needed to overcome, and further added that she acted out these parts because she was trying to relax and have fun. Unfortunately, it made her known for doing explicit scenes, and it's hard to shake off that kind of reputation. Followed by Ben Stiller. The Hollywood actor Ben Stiller regrets having shown his privates in the film Along Came Polly, since he was never informed that he could have utilized a body double. The 38-year-old comic, who stars in the new romantic comedy alongside Friends actress Jennifer Aniston, was told that the scene in which he strips below the waist had a fair chance of getting edited out in the final version, but it made it into the theater release nonetheless. Ben's own statement says the director of the movie told him that he would cut the whole scene if it didn't make people laugh. It wasn't until much later that he realized he could have gotten a bottom double all along and no one bothered to tell him. Moving on to Sharon Stone. An unmissable hit from the 90s, without a doubt, the white dress scene from her performance in Basic Instinct has become legendary as any other part she has played. But sources say that she was caught off guard by the decision to include explicit footage of her private parts in the movie. She later explained that the director, Paul, even had her remove her underwear during filming because it could draw a lot of attention. She tried expressing her concerns that the scene would be too revealing, but he assured her that nothing would show. We can't even begin to imagine how shocked she was to find out, while out with her friends, that her body had been shown in a movie at the theater without her permission. According to her own statement in an interview, she said that she was so taken back when she saw the scene of herself in the theater with a large group of other people. After the credits rolled, she slapped him across the face, and it's absolutely deserved if you ask us. Next up, Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman has been very open about how playing such a pivotal role in Big Little Lies affected her. On the popular HBO show, the actor plays Celeste, a woman who is trapped in an abusive relationship with her husband. To W Magazine, she revealed that, like her character, she often felt ashamed when playing on film. She felt very humiliated because of how exposed she was, especially during the scenes at the end of the season. She pointed out that these were the same sensations and emotions that our character had felt, and so they were extremely parallel when it came to their emotions. But Nicole was willing to do that for the part because that's what she thought was needed for the character. Talk about some serious method acting, but we have to admit that that is kind of amazing. Followed by Dakota Johnson. After filming the first 50 Shades of Grey film in 2015, she told the time that filming a scene isn't as pleasant or pleasurable experience. It wasn't just the unpleasantness of the scenes themselves, but also the complexity of the staging and the use of props. Moreover, she mentioned that her least favorite part of 50 Shades of Grey was when Christian flogged Anastasia. She went on to explain that her wrists and legs were tied, and she was also blindfolded, and to top it off, she was being beaten with an odd object. Even while that particular scene took hours to perfect, the physical restraints also caused emotional strain. Dakota admitted that it took a huge toll in her emotions, and she further said that it was probably the worst thing she ever had to do, but then she it up and just got on with it. Finally, Emilia Clarke. Mother of Dragons, everyone's favorite monarch from Game of Thrones, has admitted in a series of stunning interviews that she detested doing all of the on the show, which to be honest was a lot. The showrunners allegedly took advantage of the fact that she was young by having her film numerous sequences. She apparently went through a time of sadness and insecurity since they wouldn't let her stop doing it, regardless of her repeated requests. Not to mention that her parents saw the performance and weren't happy with how she was on camera, which made things awkward. That is a wrap for today's video. Did you like our list of the deeply regretted scenes by celebrities? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a like and thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content just like this.